Hello, everyone. My name is Stacey Goldmind of Goldmind Consultants, and you're watching What's Your Point of View?
Tell me what's your point of view? What's your point of view? Tell me what's your point of view? It is your view. Point of view. Point of view. What's your point of view? It's time to hear from you. Welcome to Point of View.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. It's your girl Amanda Johnson. I am here with my sister Stacey Lloyd. Say hello to the people.
Hello to the people. Oh my goodness, you know I'm so excited to be here.
I am so super excited.
Oh.
I'm super excited because I know we have good energy. Would have definitely been here a while ago if it wasn't for COVID. But she's here now.
Yes, thank you.
And through this year, you have had a promotion on your job.
Yes.
You are now officially Dr. Stacey.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh my goodness, thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So thank you so much for taking time because I know you have a lot on your plate. But a little while ago, we were talking about social media. So I want you to share your heart about what you've been aware of and the things that has been going on.
So I was a social media addict, and it's like serious, like addicted, an addiction like people may have to drugs or sex, if I could say that on the show, but like a real addiction. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I did every morning was check my Facebook, you know, how many numbers were in the red circle to see how many people may have commented or liked something that I posted. Then from there, I would go to my text messages. Then I'll go to Instagram. Then I'll check my email. And I didn't even get out of the bed yet. So then I'll get out of the bed and I'll take my phone with me. I'll take my phone to the bathroom. I'll brush my teeth and I'm scrolling. I'm getting myself together, and it really did slow me down in the process of just getting myself ready for work, going to the gym, whatever was happening. I'm talking to my kids. They're talking to me. I'm either talking on the phone or I'm scrolling. And I could tell you this has been a matter of like 6 or 7 years. And so my son said to me, he said, "Mom, there's a show on Netflix called Social Dilemma. You need to watch it." And I said, what is it about? And he said, it's what happens when you are addicted to social media, and what happened with the development of Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and it wasn't intentional. So he said, "Mom, you have to watch it." And during that period, I was down with COVID, and I'm just sitting on the couch trying to get better. So I was like, all right, let me watch it. And I was watching it, and I had my cell phone in my hand at the same time. And so as they were communicating what they were saying initially, I didn't really hear them because I kept doing this. And I kept missing segments. And I'm like, oh, that sounds like an important point. Oh, and I rewinded it. It took me about 3 or 4 hours to watch a 1 hour and 20 minute. Well, I think it was like 1 hour and 30 minutes. It took me like 3 or 4 hours because I kept rewinding it because I couldn't stay off Facebook, and I couldn't stay off my email, or I couldn't stay off of. I did not realize how addicted I was to email. I never thought about the email. Who thinks about that? And in the 3 hours, I was able to get an understanding of what they were trying to say to me. And I never returned back to Facebook. And then I watched it in its entirety for the hour and 30 minutes straight. And I'm like this. And you know what made me do it? Toward the end of the segment, they had a kid who was a character in the whole like background of it all, and he was like this, sitting on the stairs, sitting in his bed, scrolling, and they had all of the windows he had open on his phone around him, just so you can get a visual of what he was doing. And I was like, oh my God, that's me. That is me. And I actually turned my phone off for the first time in about 7 years. I've never turned my phone off. It always has to be charged. and I turned it off, and I slept very well that night. I slept very well. I have slept very well ever since. Wow. I did not wake up, because I would wake up 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, grab my phone, look, and put it back down, go back to sleep. And sometimes it was hard to go back to sleep, so I'm scrolling for like an hour, and I'm exhausted. Wow. So that whole time, I didn't realize how social media affected my mental health, my emotions, how I showed up, what I thought about, who I thought I was, how I thought I looked, how I'm supposed to look to everybody. And it was like a game changer. It was a game changer. So today, I am a recovering social media addict. I feel great. Like, I feel good. I feel good.
What were some of the points that they were making that stuck out to you?
So what was interesting is when the makers of Facebook and Google and TikTok and Instagram started the program, they didn't start it for us to be addicted to it. They just developed a program, a platform for everybody to just communicate with each other. But over time, this database, this computer system, we begin to feed this system intelligence. We begin to create an avatar of who we were based on the information that we were feeding it. Then over time, these platforms, or the makers of it, the stockbrokers, everybody was pouring into it. It's like, how could we make money, right? They needed to figure out how they can keep you connected to Google, Facebook, and everything. The more you are connected, the more money they make, because you are the money maker, because advertisers want to know what you're thinking, what you like, what you hate, how mad are you. So everybody is fighting for residency in your mind. And you know how I feel about the mind. I'm like, oh my goodness, they're controlling my, I'm always talking about controlling the mind and these things. And they talked about over time, an avatar was created on your what word can I say? It's your habits, your thought process, because what you think is what you type. What you think is what you like, or you put a frown face on it, or a heart. Those things matter to them. Angry, this makes her angry. They needed that to measure your emotional temperature. Emotions are so important. They needed to measure your emotional temperature. This makes her feel good. And I'm like, oh my goodness, they're messing with my emotions. They are messing with my emotions. And so the more, and then another thing, this was the final straw for me. As a researcher, I'm always searching for truth. And when they said, you don't know what truth is, because they limit the information based on your geographic location and your avatar. Based on what you type in there continuously, what you look up, there'll be maybe 10,000 things, but it's based on who you are. You do not have access to all information in the world. You only have access to information based on where you live and who you are, based on the profile that you created. So this social media platform knows more about you than you know about yourself. I was like, that is true.
I guess that's how they made up the word TikTok, because they playing with your emotions. TikTok, they can make you go whichever way they want you to go, depending on what they put on your page.
And think about Facebook. Like, that is where people get their so-called education from. They talked about how they were able to really manipulate the whole political agenda. So when they said that Russia interfered with politics, they weren't talking about Russia rigging anything. They were talking about the information that was fed via social media. And when you watch this, I challenge everybody to watch it with their children, but they talked about civil unrest. They talked about everything. They talked about COVID. They talked about the information that we receive is based on what we type in. And then we gravitate our frustration and our anger at the president and who we like and who we dislike, right? You know, how we feel about law enforcement, how we feel about communities, how we feel about whites, how we feel about blacks, now how we feel about Chinese, right? Is only based on the information that we're privy to. So the whole time they're controlling your emotions, they're controlling your mind, they're controlling your level of intelligence through an avatar that you fed them. And you're not going to be able to expound past that because your brain doesn't know how to look beyond that because you're only limited. First, you're getting information from them, and then your brain is saying, well, what about this? But it can only ask, what about this, based on what you believed was in front of you, and you took it in. Then you'll ask the next question, but it's only based on what you have within. We can't apply the information that we don't have.
You can't address what we do not know.
But we do not know. And we can't challenge anything because we don't know what to challenge. And I'm telling you, Amanda, this is where my passion is. This is what my life purpose is. My life purpose is to always assist people with discovering truth. And that challenged what I believe in as it relates to truth. Because I thought that what I was digging up was truth. Even though I said I don't know everything, I thought even at minimum I knew enough to assist people with transforming their life. And guess what? They transformed my life for 7 years.
And that's one of the things that I am learning and growing. Like, if I don't agree with you, I have to accept your truth as your truth. I don't have to accept it and believe it and take it in, but I should be respectful enough, understanding enough to say, okay, that's your truth. We don't have to argue about it. We don't have to fight about it. We just need to understand we don't see the same way. Because you're watching things and it's kind of confusing when you would see a person ask the question and then they would not really know the answer, but still try to take a stand on something.
Take a stand.
I'm like, how? You just said you didn't know anything about it, but you're mad. You're mad, but you don't really know why you're mad.
Right.
And you don't really have an answer. Oh, I'm just upset. This is crazy. Well, what's crazy? I don't know. It's all crazy. I'm like, I'm confused with that. But my thing is, I'm like, okay, that's where you are. And not allow what people are doing or saying to change my space.
And unfortunately, guess what? Even for a moment, they have changed your space. Just by the mere fact that you read it, you acknowledge that this person has posed a question that they don't know the answer to, and now you're confused, which elicited some type of emotion. How can this person pose this? And now you're like, wait. And then you're like, nope, I'm not going to let it. But for a minute, it did. If we had to be honest, as much as we tried not to get connected with political things and people fighting against each other, it still does something to us. And I think about, the passage in the Bible. It may be in the Bible. I may be wrong. But a house divided against each other will fall. Because when they basically called Jesus Beelzebub, they called him a devil. He said, why would a devil cast out devils? Right? A house divided against each other will fall. Right now, with that information, we are, as a society, we are falling. Because we don't understand that there's a system in place for us to be divided, to keep the information going, to keep our energy, if they can't keep these kind of conversations going, there's no business. And I always say, and I heard it, I'm borrowing it, in every problem there's a business. And right now there's a major problem, and as a result, there are businesses popping up that we're not even paying attention to because they're feeding off our energy. And not only that, they talked about the creation of Snapchat. And they talked about your ability to change your features if you don't like it. So they were saying with young people now, the amount of surgeries have gone up because they want to look like the Snapchat. They want their skin lighter. They want to change. I don't know how you change your ear size, nose, this and that. But Snapchat, and the suicide rate has increased by like 300% because of these filters, and these young people feel like they can't look like that.
These images. Whew. Well, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back and talk about that mindset, that gold mind.
That gold mind, yes.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
My people don't want no trouble. We got enough strong gold. I just want to live. God protect me. I just want to live. I just want to live.
Officer, please don't shoot. I didn't come here to riot or to loot. I came here to exercise my rights. I did not come to get into a fight. I know that you have a job to do, but guess what, officer? I do too. My job is to be my brother's keeper, and I'm not gonna let you silence me like I'm an old school beeper. When you act like you do not see, that means you're a part of the problem to me. And if the shoe was on the other foot, you wouldn't like the way it fit. And this police versus people, I just don't get. Before you got your badge, there was an oath to recite. Please, officer, please don't take that oath light. You said that you would have the courage to hold yourself and others accountable for their action, but somewhere in your mind there must have been a redaction, because once you got your job, you took another oath to cold blue. Now you're witnessing things that happen to people that will make a doctor say cold blue. Now you're witnessing people being put into cardiac arrest. You don't have to be a doctor to know what happens when you put your knee on another man's neck and chest for over 8 minutes. Officer, please don't shoot. I didn't come here to riot or to loot. I came here to exercise my rights. I didn't come here to fight.
My people don't want no trouble. We got enough strong gold. I just wanna live. God protect me. I just wanna live. I just wanna live.
I was just a black boy brought up in the white world. I just wanna ask God if I'm in the right world. Is my life a
It's time to hear from you. Welcome to Point of View.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back. I'm here with my sister, Dr. Stacey.
Yes.
You are the founder of Goldmind Consultants.
Yes.
I know we talk about, I love talking about it because it's so many different avenues that you can take us on to inspire, encourage, and bring awareness. So, but what's new? What is it that you've been working on lately regarding Goldmind Consultants?
All right. So lately, my passion is emotional intelligence and really assisting people in high stress occupations. And the reason why I find that to be so important is I'm talking about your law enforcement officers, your judges, your teachers, your doctors, your nurses, because in those different capacities or career paths, you are really responsible for people, and people expect you to show up as your higher self and the best emotion with the best knowledge, that you were showing up with all integrity and all character and all patience. But at the end of the day, what's really hard for people to see is the human side. And they don't understand that you're not just a doctor. You are a mother, father, somebody in the community, a caretaker for your parents. There's still life. You have to pay bills. You have to go, you have to cook, there are so many things that make people who they are. And sometimes the people that you're serving can't see it. And sometimes you can't see it. You can't see it because of the profession that we have chosen, because I'm in law enforcement. Only thing that people see, which causes me to focus on that, is my profession. Because most of these professions are unlike any other. And people really do have this standard of excellence, and there's no room for a mistake because people are dependent on you. So understanding where your emotional state is from moment to moment is extremely important to me, because I personally see how it has affected our education system, our criminal justice system, the healthcare system. I can see how operating with lower levels of emotions has hurt people in these different professions, which turns around and hurts people that we are supposed to serve. So my passion right now is to assist people in these occupations with understanding where they are emotionally and giving them tools and techniques to assist them with increasing the emotional intelligence and decreasing their stress. So that's my goal for 2020, 2021. That is it. Yes. Yes.
So let's talk about gold diggers.
Yes.
What's some encouraging words? I see multiple posts about, hey, all right, let's go gold diggers. And it's so catchy. Like, what? Oh, yeah, gold diggers. Gold diggers.
Yes,
Talk to us about that.
All right. And so, and I always have to say gold, because when I say I'm a gold digger and somebody posts and was like, I can't believe that you calling yourself a gold digger. And I'm like, well, even if you say gold, you're searching for treasure. So it's really how you perceive the word, but it's a gold digger. And the reason why I thought that was amazing, because when you have a goal, you're always searching for something. There is intention, there is focus, there is patience, there's deliberate practice. So for goals, you're always seeking to do something better. You're always seeking to accomplish something. That's what goals do. And when you are searching for a goal and you reach whatever that thing is, it not only increases your level of expertise and skills and intelligence, but it increases your self-esteem and your confidence. So I'm constantly saying, go tell me what your goal is. And when people are typing it brings it to life. It makes it tangible. So not only are you thinking it, but you're writing it. And you're not only letting me know, especially with social media, we just talked about social media, but when you put it out there on the Goldmind website, now you have a bunch of accountability partners that are like, yes, I know you can do this, and I can't wait till you tell us the first step. So I don't, even in the gold digger thing, I tell people, don't think about the end result. I want you to take us through the journey. And the reason why that's important as a gold digger is you get a chance to feel it and be a part of it, right? And experience it, as opposed to thinking about what's going to happen at the end. You are experiencing it. You're seeing it. You're feeling it. You're learning from it. Even if you feel like you failed at something, you're learning from it. So that's what the gold digger thing is about. Goals are about setting intentions and doing whatever it takes in the moment to accomplish that thing.
Awesome. Now, thinking about gold diggers makes me think about football and basketball in life. Mm-hmm. Because technically, you have the whole game, but throughout the game, you're scoring. Yes. You're getting points. You're celebrating those points. And I think sometimes we forget to celebrate the small wins. Yes. Even though we haven't won the game yet, but we're still scoring. Yes. We're still making baskets. We're still making touchdowns. We're still gaining yards. Exactly. But we forget to celebrate those wins in between the goals. So talk to us. How important is it to make sure we take that time and just celebrate?
You said something. So I have the opportunity to mentor young people that want to go into law enforcement. I'm very passionate about it. And going through that process can be a daunting process. It's a whole year process, from signing on the application process to taking a physical fitness test, taking a written, going through the background. And when I talk to them, I say, celebrate the small wins, right? I say it all the time. When you filled out that application progress and it said congratulations, you celebrate that step, right? Because you're going to go through a moment where you have to wait. right? So as you're celebrating that, what's your next goal? My next goal is to pass the physical fitness test, okay? You've celebrated that. You know that you met that criteria. You had the degree, you have a valid background, valid driver's license. You've accomplished all that to be successful in an online application. You celebrate that. Now it's time for you to take the physical fitness test. When you're successful in that, don't think, okay, I wonder what's going to happen next. No, you did whatever it took to pass that. You go home and you celebrate that thing. You celebrate it, but don't stay there. Now you write your goal for the next thing. Now you've taken a written examination. When you have that, you celebrate that. And I'll go into, with me having this opportunity with the United Nations coming up, right? I wrote that in my journal. I believe in journaling. When I wrote that in my journal, I got excited about it. When I closed my journal, I was like, yes, this is going to happen. And I felt it, I saw it, and I celebrated just the mere thought that this is what my goal will be. And I was excited in the moment. And then I began to work the inner magic, right? That inner magic happens from belief. I began to work that belief system. And then I began to meet different people because I believed I should. And the first person I met, Dr. Daniels, hey, when I met her and I shared my passion and she connected with it, I celebrated that. I went home and said, guess who I met? Oh my goodness, she works for the UN and we're going to partner together. I celebrated that. Then I met the next person. I celebrated that. I celebrated because I said, this is what I said I would do. I'm not going to wait until that opportunity happens. I said that I believe it's going to happen, so I'm going to celebrate it every step of the way. And I think, Amanda, the reason why we don't celebrate it is because we look at people who have already accomplished their goals and we think that we should not celebrate until we get there. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there. But if you understand that you're bringing your vision to life, I'm bringing this vision to life, you should celebrate it. And that's where you really connect with your belief system. And then your optimism and your creativity begins to grow because you believe that you are where you should be. And I believe that. Yes. I truly believe that.
So start celebrating those wins.
Celebrate the small wins.
That's the thing I see. Like, okay, I'm not there yet. It doesn't matter. A win is a win. Mm-hmm. You celebrate it because that win gives. Come on, how many times you start dancing and then you're not able to stop? That's what that does. It kind of gives you additional energy to make that next goal.
Exactly.
So you have the Goldmind consultants, you have Gold Digging, you have a lot of different things going on. How can people kind of reach out or just kind of keep track of what you have going on?
I would say my Goldmind consultant page at this point, I do have to find an outlet, but I have Goldmind consultants on Facebook. I have to find a way now to connect because I have to say that I had to disconnect myself from social media, so I'm not on it as much. I would challenge people to contact me on my business line, 201-463-8271. I have been doing Zoom sessions on emotional intelligence, emotional first aid, everything dealing with how you think. So if you're interested in joining one of the sessions, it's free. You could log on and we will do like an hour session in those areas to help you respond the way you choose to respond, not the way you feel like you have to respond. So Stacey Goldmind, thank you. Amanda, thank you. You're so beautiful. Like your energy is just, I'm serious. It's amazing. I always leave and I'm smiling and I'm excited,
That's how I feel when you're coming. That's like, Stacey's coming, Stacey's coming.
You're amazing. You are super duper amazing.
Always good conversation. We will have to connect really soon because I love our chats. It's always informing and empowering.
Yes.
So definitely get with my sister, Dr. Stacey Lloyd.
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank
we'll see you next time.
Thank you. God bless. Thank you.
Tell me what's your point of view? What's your point of view? Tell me. What's your point of view? It is your view. Point of view. Point of view. What's your point of view? It's time to hear from you. Welcome to Point of View.
What is the definition of freedom, justice, and equality for the black man, and where and when is it to be attained?
Oh, we talking equality. They say the roof on fire, well let it burn like calories. I used to fill out applications hoping they hire me, knowing the color of my skin could be why they fired me. We still found a way, had to stack what you can. I remember first whip, had to grab me some rims. Leaving work, cops had me pulled over. Why you acting so tense? Is it all cause I'm black? It's my tense. Okay, tell me if